Hello, my name is Ian Waite, and today I'm going to be telling you about the problem of steroids in sports. Did you guys know that according to U.S. News, 1 in 10 retired NFL players admitted in a confidential survey that they used anabolic steroids while playing? That's a real, it doesn't sound like a lot, 1 out of 10, but when you think about it, all the retired NFL players, that's a lot of players and a lot more than there should be. Especially in an era of sports that claims to have such strict drug tests and drug policies. And although it may not affect me directly, I watch and follow sports religiously, and it takes a lot away from the game. It takes a lot away from what it was built on. And for this reason, drug tests in sports need to be more accurate and given more often. Steroids are extremely harmful to our bodies, and their usage in sports gives players unfair advantages, and it takes away from the spirit of the game. So here's what we need to fix and why. Probably the most obvious and most urgent reason to fix this is because of the damage it does to our bodies. And I have a video here to show you. Open the volume.
Behind you. In the long run, you pay a price. On the outside, a steroid user might just look bigger, more masculine. But on the inside, doctors believe this could happen. One type of oral steroid has been linked to tumors and cancers of the liver. Others have suffered a rare condition called peliosis hepatitis, where blood-filled cysts form on the liver and can rupture, causing internal bleeding. Some studies also suggest that tumors can form on the kidneys, decreasing function. As the body loses its ability to filter the blood, toxins build up, leading to fluid retention, increased blood pressure, and eventually, kidney failure. But even more alarming is the effect of steroids on the heart. Steroids can dramatically alter cholesterol levels, increasing the risk of heart attack or stroke.
Alright, so like you guys saw in that video, steroids, they may make you big in the short run, but if you keep, most people get addicted to them, and then they get into cycles of taking these steroids, and then after so many years it starts having, you can get tumors like it said, it starts having a lot of problems on your blood. And I have some listed here. It can stunt your growth. Like most guys know, it can shrink your testicles, which nobody wants that to happen. Elevates your blood pressure and your bad cholesterol, which is bad for your heart. You can become addicted to them, and they increase your aggression. Some of you may have heard the term roid rage, which is when you get aggressive because you're taking steroids. It enlarges the left ventricle of your heart, which makes it harder for it to beat. And they can increase the toxicity in your liver, which everybody knows livers, your liver, it filters out the toxins in you, and after putting so much in your liver, it'll destroy it after a while, and you can die from that, and it increases your risk of stroke and heart attack. Although not the only one, the most dangerous one. Steroids they make for an unequal playing field in sports. And also it sends the wrong message to kids. You don't want your kids, obviously anybody who's played sports in here probably grew up watching athletes that they wanted to be like and tried to train like them and do what they do. And if you hear your favorite athlete taking steroids, then obviously that's not a good message. You think it's okay to do that. This actually happened to me. My favorite player was Manny Ramirez in baseball, and then I found out that he did steroids. Kind of took away from I guess me wanting to be like him. That kind of ruined that for me. And Pro-Con states that for many male high school athletes, pro athletes are major influences, and they emulate their training regimens. Like I just said, you try and be like your favorite athlete, so you do what they do, you see them taking steroids, and you're going to think it's okay. And since they're so good, you're going to think if you take steroids, then you're going to be good. Legalization of performance-enhancing drugs in sports, it will not help anything. It will just result in harm and artificial talent. You see these guys and you think they're all so good, but they could be taking steroids. Happens all the time. And unfortunately, steroids are becoming more available to athletes, and something needs to be done. So, to solve this problem, we need to enact harsher punishment for athletes caught. Not much harsher, because punishment is already pretty hard, but just a little. Also, Bleacher Report even suggested P-tests before every game. And these P-tests, they are expensive, but with the technology we have today, it's definitely possible to create a much cheaper drug test, but still test for the same thing and be just as efficient. They just haven't been trying to do that. And they stated that if a player fails a test, they should immediately be suspended for a handful of games. That way, any player taking steroids will not even get by one game without being tested. And like I mentioned, precise drug tests are expensive, but it's very possible to make something cheap to use. Without steroids in sports, it would be a game of raw talent and skill. So basically, here's what would happen. Without steroid usage, every sport would have a level playing field. Players like Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire, that wouldn't happen because everybody would be getting tested, and they won't be given constant credit and respect when they're cheating. We will all know positively the best players in the sport based off their statistics, and we all know that their statistics will be legitimate because we know that they're not taking steroids. And same with Hall of Fame inductions, they'll all be legit. Every player will have deserved to get in, and nobody will get in by taking steroids or cheating. Alright, so now you're probably asking yourself, how can I help? What you can do is contact your collegiate athletic director, email them, speak to them in person, or write them a letter, pushing for harder drug testing, more stricter, harder punishments, and harsher punishment for testing positive for performance-enhancing drugs. So thank you very much.